lifted up by a bright white light, feeling my body lift into the sky, approaching the bottom of a vast craft. Okay, they can be as big as you want. They can be as big as a townhouse, but why would you want to do that to yourself? They are going to be as big as 6 football fields, but that unit of measurement never resonated with me. It's big. I'll soon find myself on a table. And there were my friends lying there on their tables. And I said, "Where's my table?" And they said, "We already told you, we don't want your semen. It's bad. We don't want it." Well, what am I doing here then? Well, I don't know. She called us. And I said, "You, what?" "You are one of those. My sister called the Black Triangles to pick me up. I guess that's one way to get me out of your hair." She's like, "Look, you seem like a relatively okay person, but there's too much emotional baggage bound up in the fact that we are brother and sister and have never met until now. Don't feel bad about not coming to find me. We're good." And for what it's worth, I guess I'm sorry for about what they're about to do to you. I guess there are worse things that can happen than getting anally penetrated and your prostate electronically stimulated so that you ejaculate into a little cup. And then the little gray man takes the cup, pours it into the blender, and makes semen meringue. I guess there are worse things to happen. I only find out what. I mean, I guess I'll find out what. Oh, what about my plan to fake Ogopogo's death? That would have been good, but it's hard to get a space this time of year. We would have needed a space for the funeral, like a funeral home. And then where were we going to bury it? You can't just bury a big dead animal. Oh, that wasn't very well thought out. Unless that skeleton underneath Flintstones Bedrock City was already it. It had already been there. And its bones had been desecrated? There's nothing I can do about it now. I'm in a white room. They lie. Their relationship to the truth, shall we say, is different than ours, for their relationship to physical reality is different, and so blah blah blah. But if my sister called you here, why did she try and help me escape on the plateau on the top of the mountain? There was a reason for that. Have you ever been abducted by things beyond your understanding? There's a couple of things you can do. One, you could pray to Jesus or whatever other higher power you enjoy. Oftentimes, that is enough to get them off your back, or at least cut that visit short. Also, you could have a samurai sword, but I don't I'm medium sword. I'm medium okay at sword play. I would not want to cut any of the red eyes. I mean the black eyes off because there's a bunch of red stuff underneath, and you'll get sick, and no one knows what's wrong with you, and then you're gone. So don't get any other gunk on you. I know it's tough, but maybe there are messages for a better timer. Like they're not totally invalid. I just can't stop the pain. It torts you into something unrecognizable. Doesn't matter how many pleasurable semen meringues you've produced. No one wants to get hurt. And yeah, there's those people that can hypnotize themselves because they're allergic to anesthesic. But I don't know if that's me. Haha. So, there are 5 things you can do if you've ever been abducted by an otherworldly figure. 1, pray to Jesus or whoever else. Okay, 2, see if you can get a drink because your mouth's gonna be dry from the horror and fright. 3, if you can get a little Matchbox car, a little Hot Wheels, spread them all around if you can. Your living space, they'll float you up above them, but if you can grab a couple, and then once you're in their craft, like throw it around, maybe they'll slip around like Herbie Goes Bananas. Okay, 4, anything electronic's gonna really let you down. Okay, so try bringing a Rubik's Cube with you and challenging them to solve it faster. Or the crossword. Challenge them to a game of wits starring any puzzle that doesn't take a battery. Why, for example, you can ask, do they have such a problem with your strategy of amassing armies in Australia, Oceania, and then coming up out of Australia into Indonesia with a massive force, and then a Kamchatka comes down, okay, and I don't remember what other bridges there are, but you do make pretty good headway into Asia. It's not quite enough to capture North America, however. What I should have done is built up the army, okay, in Australia, went up through Indonesia, then hung a right through Kamchatka, across the Bering Strait to Alaska, okay, and done a USA invasion. And that way I can fortify my positions in North America. But I didn't think of that. I was just like, I'm just going to go straight for Moscow, dude. A game of wits. See if you could tell them a joke. Find out what their sense of humor is, because they're kind of nutty. They're kind of nutty. They think weird things are funny, and I don't want to label it, okay, and make them feel othered, but it's true. They have a really messed up sense of humor, and they might appreciate you and your absurdist sensibilities. Pretend you have a TV for a head, and then say, "What's on, fellas?" They'll probably like that. Something about your butt. Okay, like a peach pit. I don't know. You'll figure it out. Grapes. Grapes are a peach pit. Stomp around on something and get your feet wet, and then tromp all around their craft and see if they can slip on something. And then, when they slip, you help them up. Okay, you don't want to get their big heads bonked. Make friends, I guess, is what I'm saying. So smoke 'em if you got 'em. Because this whole place has got to be my best friend. So that I can get me and my best friends out of here. Why would you have taken me to Flintstones Bedrock City? I thought it was my idea, but now I know any good person knows. Let a dude think it's his idea and he'll do it. So she probably wanted me to do it. You're operating at cross purposes, or you're conflicted. She's like, I'm not conflicted about anything. I said, well, okay. Say that to yourself 1,000 times, and you might make it true.